The thing is, the raw reality of getting rich is that it's as easy as you make it to be. Getting rich is as simple and as easy as you'll allow yourself to believe it to be. And so the thing is if it feels really damn hard and you watch this video that makes you kind of pissed off or upset, well, here's the truth. You're probably making it really difficult. The logistics of actually making money is pretty simple. I just made a video yesterday where I broke down an entire process to make 10 grand a month. And I know damn well that nobody's going to do anything with that information. And so it doesn't even matter if I give it away, because most people aren't going to do something about it. I beg for people to watch my videos, do something about it, and go get rich. Why? Why would I want to do that? Why would I give things away to help other people become rich? Because I want you to make money, so you thank me and you're like, thank you, Devin, I appreciate you, and you just shout me from everywhere you go about how I changed your life, and you end up buying my stuff in the future, or you recommend me to a friend and I end up working with them, or some sort of thing like that. Like, I just genuinely watching these videos, I want you guys to make a ton of money. Like I said, getting rich is complicated to you guys because you make it complicated. We start to build this like glass ceiling or this glass box that we put ourselves in over time of making certain income levels, because it's just like we know how much that's going to change our life. And when we know how much change is going to come from a change or a bump in an income, or in a, I guess, yeah, like as soon as we start making more money, like we know how much that's going to change our lives. What we start doing at that instant, as soon as that happens, is we start pushing it away. And when we start pushing it away, we start to make it harder for ourselves to become rich. It changes, it transforms us into a position of where it starts to become more and more of an uphill battle. Now we have to constantly try to move uphill, and the walls become slippery, and it becomes very difficult because we've built so much pressure and emphasis in our minds and in our heads of what this amount of money will mean to us. Because we know that as soon as we make $10,000 a month, that means we get to get done with the bullshit. We are unattached from the system as much now. We have freedom. We have financial freedom. We have time freedom. We have location freedom. And as soon as we, like I said, as soon as we make a lot of pressure around this, it becomes difficult. I'll tell you a story. Like, I remember me trying to make 10 grand a month. I tried doing it for a good amount of time. I was able to have some success. Like, I had a month where I did 8 grand, and then a bunch of months where I didn't do a whole lot of anything when I was in college. And then I remember very vividly, I set out, like, I ended up having success pretty quickly. And then I set out to go and make 10 grand a month very consistently. And I made it my whole, like, holy grail of, like, okay, right now I'm in a season of just trying to get rich. And it took me, like, I started working at it day in and day out it was about a year before, like, of me trying to get rich and make a ton of money, before I got to where I was making like 3 grand a month. And so a year worth of work, and I got to where I was making 3 grand a month, which, you know, if you think about it, you're like, okay, so that's good money, but it's not like, you know, my goal that I set out for, my magnus opus, my big thing that I'm trying to do. And so it wasn't until then at that point where I put in all this work, and I got to where I was making 3 grand a month, that I got to a certain point where I was like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I don't care about making 10 grand a month anymore. I don't know if I'll ever hit it. I don't know if this is even possible. And I am just sick and tired of constantly hitting the same walls over and over and over and over again. And so I said, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. So what did I do? Is I kept doing what I was doing, but then I kind of started to detach myself from the outcome. I quit caring about, like, what was the result that I got from said thing, and instead I started focusing on just consistently doing the reps, and then finding more fun ways to do the reps. And this was the first time that I started kind of looking out at the horizon at all of the options of ways of doing things, because then I started asking myself, what do I want to do for fun? And I came across this style of content that was being made back in the day. It was these, like, Reddit videos, and I thought they were so fun to make. They looked fun to make. They were stupid, they were funny, they were silly. They were these stories from Reddit, and they were really entertaining for me to watch. So I decided I wanted to go make some. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go make some of these videos. And I kid you not, I decided I was gonna do one of these every single day for 30 days. It was just gonna be this like fun little project I was gonna do. I was hoping to get rich from it, but it wasn't like my whole emphasis of me doing this thing. It wasn't like I'm gonna go make these Reddit channels and my goal, like I'm gonna get rich as fuck from it. It was just one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna do this and have fun. And so what proceeded was I started doing this every single day, and just after I think the span of like 5 days of doing it, I started to get more views in a day than I did for an entire year of my, after doing my other YouTube channel for an entire year was getting in a day. So it was getting a faster result. It was getting the same result significantly faster. And I was like, whoa, there's something here. And after about 14 days of doing it, I got to where I hit 1 million views in a day, which it was a pretty low, amount of money I was making per view at the time. But the math shook out to where I was making like 2-3 grand a day after doing this for just 2 weeks. And it was like, I wasn't even necessarily trying to make that much money. I was just trying to do some fun stuff and make some videos that go viral, but I wasn't necessarily trying to get rich off of it. I hoped to get rich and that was my goal and everything, but it wasn't like why I did this thing. And it just started making a ton of money, and I went all in. I was going crazy. I was just trying to make as many of these videos as I possibly could, as I humanly could. And that month I ended up, I had some issues with like getting it actually monetized, but I ended up making, I think it was like $9,000 that month. So I went from 3 to 4 grand a month to $9,000, just $1,000 shy of my goal. The next month I was able to figure out monetization towards the end of the month, and I got to where I made $18,000 the next month. Then the month after that, it was full-blown scale. I got to where I made $42,000 in a single month. And so the lesson in there was I was trying so hard to make 10 grand a month. Like that was the goal. Like that was the thing. I want to make 10 grand a month. Like that was the thing. How do I do that? And I just kept day in, day out hunting after 10 grand a month. And it was like this big deal to me to make 10 grand a month. Until then, at a certain point, I was just like, you know what? I got so sick and tired of chasing after the goal that I was just like, okay, I'm gonna quit caring. I'm just gonna do things for fun. Obviously, it's like I kept doing the work. I kept moving forward. I kept making progress, but I wasn't attaching like a result or an outcome to said thing. And then as soon as I did that, like literally like a light switch went off, and I was able to have higher income jumps than I ever had. And I was able to scale to some pretty insane heights. And that happened with me I was stuck around like 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month for a pretty long time after that. And then the same thing happened to me to get to $100,000 a month. When I had when I was trying to make 100 grand a month consistently, it was like the thing. It was the thing I was trying to do. Like without a doubt, I was trying really hard to make 100 grand a month. And then once I made 100 grand a month, it was pretty straightforward. I broke through pretty quickly. It was like as soon as I quit caring about like trying to hit 100 grand a month, I was able to break through pretty quickly. I focused on just doing the work and doing the results, and just everything took off. My brand took off, my name took off. I had a lot of videos do really well with interviews that I did and all sorts of things, and I reached new heights that I would have never, like I always wanted and I thought were these extremely challenging things. But as soon as I detached myself from it, and as soon as I quit caring about the result as much, and instead I focused on the actions and the inputs, the goal and the result became significantly easier. And so even today, anytime I reach a phase where I'm like, I really want this goal, I have to remind myself of those moments in the past of where I had to completely detach myself from the goal. I had to quit caring about the goal. I have to quit putting so much emphasis and so much weight and so much pressure in such idolizing of said goal. Instead, just focus on me. Just focus on the fulfillment that I'm getting in the things that will inevitably get me to those things. And I know for damn well that it'll unlock those areas in my life. And so that's me right now with like $1 million a month. I'm trying to get to $1 million a month. It's like, it's the thing. I've idolized the shit out of it. And I think now is the time to kind of to detach myself from it. And so I can, instead just focus on the fun of providing value to you watching these videos, and instead providing to the people that I work with and making their environment of working with me as best as it humanly can be, and making just the experience of the me and the customer and the client and them experiencing the things that I have created, and making sure that they just have a damn good time with it, and that they get
good results and we just have a good time together. And instead of just putting so much weight and so much pressure on said things, and instead just focusing on the daily habits and the daily actions that are going to inevitably get me there. And so that's the situation that you're probably in as well right now. You probably want to make a ton of money and you've been working hard and you've been trying all these things. Just, instead quit caring so much. Instead just focus on doing the thing and being the person that's going to keep showing up and doing the work and doing the input. But then from there, detaching yourself from the result, detaching yourself from the expectations that you have to be somewhere, or you should be somewhere. Instead, just be and live in the moment. And so that's what I got. I'll see you guys all in the next video.